What's goody? Hey man, so All-Star Weekend just happened in the NBA, and let me tell you, I have a whole lot to unpack here. There's a whole lot I'm about to say. I'm about to be really, really critical of a whole lot of people, of a whole lot of different parties here, so it's going to be a video where there's going to be a lot of people that are getting some criticism from me. It's not going to be, oh, just the players, or oh, just the league, or oh, just the commentators, or oh, just the fans. It's going to be pretty much about everybody. And, I have so much to say, so let's just go ahead and start. I don't give a damn about the celebrity game. I don't. So let's go ahead and let's start with what happened Saturday night. First, we had the skills challenge, and let me tell you, immediately watching the skills challenge pissed me off because what are we doing? Like, genuinely, with the skills challenge and with All-Star Weekend, what are we doing? You got CP3 and Wemby going out there just throwing the balls up and not shooting them, thinking they're hacking the skills challenge. They get disqualified. You got Draymond Green out there in the final round, can't pass the fucking ball through the hoop. You've got Mobley couldn't hit a shot, and they somehow won. Like, so much happened on. Oh my goodness, it was ass. The skills challenge was absolutely terrible, and I don't care what anyone says. We're not about to do this revisionist history thing where we act like it's always been like this. Because when I was a kid, even not when I was a kid, just like 8 years, that sounds like a long time ago, but like literally back in the 2010s, the skills challenge was a thing that people really competed for. The skills challenge was a chance to see all of the best guards in the league showcasing skills that are guard skills. I'm not mad at them changing it to duos. If it's going to be duos, though, make it the best duos in the league. I'm not mad at Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. Do I think it should have been Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland? Yeah, probably, just because that's two guards, whatever. But those are two of the best players on the best team out east. So I'm not mad at them two being it. Those guys were both all-stars as well. I'm not mad at them being it. CP3 being in it. I think it should have been De'Aaron Fox and Wemby, but I'm not mad at you getting the old vet in there. I'm mad at what they did. I'm mad at how CP3 did it because you could tell CP3 was laughing about it. CP3 didn't give a damn. Wemby was a little more upset about it because Wemby didn't really know he was going to get disqualified, but CP3 obviously didn't give a damn about it. He basically just gave a big middle finger to all the fans, was enjoying getting booed and all that stuff, and you know CP3 be doing all that fake villain stuff. What were the other duos? Zachary Ricochet and Alex Sarr. They were ass. I'm not mad at it because it's the number 1 and number 2 overall pick, so it's a duo that makes sense. I'm not too mad at it. I would rather that be another duo in the league. Like, if we're going to do a guard and a big, I would rather that have been Jamal Murray and Jokic. I would rather that have been anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want that to Russell Westbrook and Jokic. I would rather that be, if we're going to do a guard and a big, make it some of the best guard-big tandems in the league. Don't make it to where it's just whoever you want it to be. Like, I'm not, again, the 1 and 2 overall pick, I'm not super mad at that. But the duo that was there that made absolutely no sense to me outside of the fact that it was in San Francisco was Draymond and Moses Moody. If it's going to be Draymond, make it Draymond and Steph. Why is it Draymond and Moses Moody? What? No disrespect to you, Moses Moody, because I believe if you went to a team other than Golden State, you could have blossomed to become one of the best role players in the NBA. Truly, I believe that. So it's no disrespect to you, but when I turn on the All-Star game, I'm not expecting to see Moses Moody in the skills challenge. And if I do, I want him to put on a show. I want him to show me why he's there. Instead, what I remember from that Golden State duo that choked it was Draymond Green not being able to hit a three, knocking all the balls down before he gets to the three-point line, not being able to just make a simple chest pass through the hoop. That's what I remember. And then we go to the three-point contest. There was nothing memorable about it. Last year, we had Steph and Sabrina, and I thought they should have did something similar this year. They should have done something duo. Steph and Dame versus Sabrina and Caitlin Clark. They should have done something like that because it's good for the NBA. It hypes up All-Star Weekend a little more, and it's something that we know the fans want to see. We know that, especially in San Francisco, they would have loved to see Steph Curry go out there and shoot in the three-point contest or have his own little event right after the three-point contest like he did last year with Steph versus Sabrina. In San Francisco, do you know how much the crowd would have been into that? That's just a missed opportunity by the NBA because nobody cared. The only memorable moments from that three-point contest were Buddy Hield starting off 0 for 7 or whatever it was, and he went on to hit basically every single other shot after that, and then Cam Johnson couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. That's literally all I remember from the three-point contest. Why would they not take this opportunity again in Stephen Curry's, the city where Stephen Curry has played his entire career and brought 4 championships? You're in Oracle Arena. one of the most electric atmospheres of all time in the NBA, and you go out there and you don't even capitalize off it. Steph wasn't in that hole at all. Did you hear in the All-Star game on Sunday when Steph Curry even took a shot, the crowd was immediately loud. When there was anything else, crowd didn't give a damn because it was boring. It was not competitive. Now, I'm going to get there in a second, but it was ass. Let me get some water because, bro, I'm pissed, bro. I'm so mad. Because you got me over here on Valentine's Day weekend. My girl love Valentine's Day and everything like that. She wasn't complaining about me watching these couple minutes of basketball that I watched this weekend at all. But on Valentine's Day weekend, if I'm coming home from going out to a nice, expensive, fancy dinner with my girlfriend, and then I come home and I gotta sit down and I'm excited to watch the skills challenge, the three-point contest, and the dunk contest, and I'm disappointed with that stuff immediately, the first thing I see when I sit down on the couch to watch the skills challenge is CP3 and Wemby out there trying to hack it and getting disqualified, getting booed by the crowd. No one wants to see that. It was ass. The first thing that I thought was, really? They were just throwing the ball. Like, no, nobody wants to see that, bro. People were mad about it, as they should have been. I'm not paying money to get into All-Star Weekend to watch these niggas just go up here and just throw the ball up randomly, not even looking at the hoop. Nobody wanted to see that. I'm not paying money on All-Star Weekend to watch Moses Moody and Draymond Green, who can't even make a pass, a simple chest pass. I'm not paying money to watch that. I don't want to see that happen. I do not want to see Cam Johnson in the three-point contest. I want to see Steph, Dame, Clay, Seth. I want to see the best snipers in the league. I want to see, I don't care. Tyler Hero, fine. Some of those guys that were in it, fine. I don't want to see. And if we are going to put role players in it, right, and say these role players have some of the best percentages in the league, blah, 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 I'm not necessarily mad at that because three-point snipers, I don't want it to be the same faces every single year, so I'm not mad at that. But what I am saying is that you have to have at least one, you have to have, like, if it's in San Francisco, you have to do something including Steph Curry. That's just a missed opportunity. That is something that the fans should have expected. That is something that if I'm a fan, as I am, I want to see that. So, especially seeing the success that it got you last year, it was one of the most memorable. I don't remember a damn thing about the All-Star game last year, but I remember Steph and Sabrina. I remember Mac McClung, who we're about to get to in a second. I remember them. And then you get to the dunk contest, dude, and you have Andre Jackson Jr. pulling off, like, the worst dunk that I've seen since, Quentin Grimes. Was it No, it wasn't Quentin Grimes. Who was it? Maybe it was Quentin Grimes. I don't know. Whoever it was, where they had the little paper and they ripped the little 50 thing open, and the commentator was like, "Oh, that's weak." I think it was Kenny the Jet. He's like, "Oh, that's weak." Yeah, the Andre Jackson Jr.'s dunks were the worst dunks I've seen since then. Stephon Castle's round 2, I agree with everyone that's saying it was more impressive than than Mac McClung's. But that dunk over the Kia. That Blake Griffin dunked over the hood of a Kia. This nigga Mac McClung dunked over the tallest part of a Kia, lifted his legs up. He didn't like go under his legs. He might have went behind the back. I don't remember, but it was crazy. What Mac McClung did with that Kia dunk, with that Kia, was the best dunk of the night. But Stephon Castle had some impressive ones before that, so please don't get me wrong with that. Stephon Castle put on a show. Mac McClung put on a show. Next year, we've got guys like John Morant, Giannis that are saying, "Oh, they making me might want to jump. I might want to." We'll see it when it happens, because this is something they say every single year, and I mean every single year. We have wow, so much happened, dude. Like, I don't even know what to say. Let me go to my bookmarks on Twitter, because I have so much that I wanted to say. I don't want to miss anything, because there were so many small storylines that just also give me problems with the NBA. So let me just go back to what I have. Yeah, okay, so here we go. Yeah, the NBA was meeting with the players on Sunday to stress the importance of. No one cared. It didn't happen. I don't really give a damn about any of that. I have so many other issues with this. We're not gonna get to that yet. We're not gonna get to that yet. Kevin Love was tweeting some hilarious stuff, some crazy stuff. We're not gonna get to that yet either. Yeah. Okay. So I see this tweet. The NBA is a dying product, man. We supposed to be seeing John Morant, Anthony Edwards, Zion, etc. True. But with that being said, if you're going to put guys like Stephon Castle, like Mac McClung in it, I'm not mad at that, because those guys did put on a show. Those guys did impress. Those guys did do things that were impressive, that made the dunk contest worth watching. Please do not get me wrong about that. But when you've got guys like John Morant saying, "Damn, They making me want to dunk for real. And then Giannis goes, oh, if you do it, I'll do it with you. And then you got John Morant, Zach and AG. What's up? Zach goes thinking I might have to again. All of this stuff is great for the league. And if it actually happens, I would love to see that. But I don't think it's going to actually happen because this is stuff that they say pretty much every year. Now, is it cool that we have multiple players coming in and like backing it themselves? I love that. If we get John Morant, Zach LaVine, Giannis, Zion, Jalen Green, if we get Anthony Edwards, we get some of these guys in it. Oh, I would love that. That would be phenomenal. That would help the NBA a ton. But the biggest problem with the NBA All-Star Weekend, it isn't the dunk contest, which has become a joke. It's the Sunday game. And Sunday, the first thing that happened that already pissed me off was we have LeBron sitting out. LeBron says right before the game, oh yeah, I'm not going to play. I have ankle soreness. Even if that's true, let's take that at face value. Let's assume LeBron James is telling the truth. My nigga, you did not just decide before the game that you weren't going to play. You knew damn well you weren't going to play if you had it in your mind for the last week that you weren't going to play. You knew that already. Why didn't you say that so we could have got somebody else in there to replace you? Why didn't you say that so we could give a chance for one of these guys where it might be their first All-Star nod, like a Norman Powell or whoever? A Devin Booker who gets another All-Star nod. We have guys that deserved an All-Star nod that didn't get one, and they would have loved to have had your space. They deserve to have your place, but because you wanted to be selfish, because you wanted to still be in the pictures, because you still wanted to make the whole Sunday about you, you decided to say right before the game, nah, I'm not going to play. LeBron James, you are the greatest player of all time, and I am a big fan of you as a player and as a person. But what you did there was bullshit. What you did there was stupid. What you did there was soft. I didn't like what you did there. I just didn't like it. Now, let's talk about Sunday's format. I hated it. I'm not going to lie. People are saying, oh, Sunday was the worst All-Star game ever and you can't blame the players. Some of the blame goes to the players. We're not about to sit here and act like the whole time those guys were competing at the highest level and everything like that. They weren't. Even in the second game, the game started out, 11-1 or 11-0. The game ended up being a 15-point loss for Team Chuck. Steph Curry goes out there and it scores like 12. Jason Tatum scored like 12 in the beginning to start it off. Those guys were out there hooping and they weren't even trying at all. Now, there was some guys I want to shout out for actually competing. Victor Wembanyama. For the young star that is probably the next face of this league to go out there and genuinely try to compete, and you could tell even though he wasn't going 100%, he was definitely competing more than anybody else on that court that was on his team, and you could tell he was genuinely pissed off at Alperen Sengun for allowing a game-winning wide-open layup to Jason Tatum. You could tell he was genuinely pissed off when there was a stretch where Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the guy that might win the fucking MVP, went down there in the All-Star game and turned the ball over 3 straight possessions and was missing shots, and then he finally hit a corner 3. Oh, yay. Before that corner 3, you could tell Wemby was pissed. The dude damn near just handed it off to the other team, and you could tell Wemby was like, fuck are we doing, bro? As soon as Wemby comes in, he hits a 3 and the energy's different, but then the rest of the team didn't give a damn. Steph Curry's out there hooping. Kyrie damn near breaks Wemby's ankles, but then he smokes the lay. Kyrie Irving is another guy I want to give props to. While he wasn't trying the whole time, he definitely went out there and D'd up a little bit. He definitely went out there and put on a show with some handles and everything like that. Now, if Kyrie Irving was trying to the fullest of his potential, he's making the layups that he was missing, if we're being honest. But still, I respect him. Jason Tatum was out there. You could tell he was really trying to hit them threes in the beginning of the second game. Whatever. I'm not mad at that. Steph Curry, he was trying to put on a show. He was hitting half-court shots and everything like that. He was at least getting the fans in the Bay into it. He knew exactly how to get the fans into it like he always does. Congrats to him. Everybody else did not try, did not give a damn. It was obvious they didn't give a damn. In the Rising Stars game, those guys look like they give a damn. They really wanted to beat these OGs. They just aren't good enough. And with the format, there's some problems that I have. There was about 20 minutes of actual basketball played. There was about a 20-minute ceremony for the TNT guys, which I'm not mad at there being a ceremony for the TNT guys. But, like, you can't have game break, and then you start another game, and at, like, the halfway point or whatever the hell, you have commercial break, this tribute that took 10 minutes, and Kevin Hart was making every joke in the world, and none of them hoes were funny. And then you have another commercial break. So you had commercial break, you had hoops, and then basically a halftime that was commercial break, tribute. We've got more for you after the break, and then another commercial break? It was literally, let me find this tweet because let me tell you, it was bad. It was 27 minutes of basketball, an hour and 13 minutes of Kevin Hart being annoying and unfunny, 30 minutes of Draymond Green telling the Rising Stars they're worthless, which was true, which he did say. We're going to get to that in a second. 15 minutes of Mr. Beast filming a YouTube video, which was ass, and you could tell Dame was not with it. You could tell Mr. Beast did not want Buddy to hit that shot, but Dame did, so Dame was trying to get in between them, was trying to make sure that Buddy didn't get distracted, and then 1 hour of commercials. That perfectly sums up what Sunday night was. It was ass. There was no basketball being played. It was mostly commercials, tributes, Kevin Hart jokes. It was a whole bunch of extra stuff that had nothing to do with basketball or the NBA at all. So now let's get to the other stuff because I've already pooped on the All-Star game enough. I'm not going to say anything else. Whatever. Let's get to the extra stuff that happened. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with the 1v1 tournament that happened in the WNBA. The one-on-one tournament in the WNBA ended up, I don't remember who won it, but it was like some players, like I saw that one older player, I think her name is Breanna Stewart, she got absolutely cooked, like 12-0, 11-0, something like that, right? Okay, whatever. We have Cam Reddish posting on his Instagram clips of him going 1v1 in the Lakers practice, and this is exactly why I keep telling people that 1v1 battle, while I would love to see it, it's never going to happen. First of all, if it does ever happen, something that's going to have to happen with it is they're going to have to do it by position, because you're not going to put Cam Reddish up against Jokic or Cam Reddish up against Steph Curry. They don't play the same position. Well, the problem with that, this is kind of positionless basketball. So what do you say? If LeBron wants to play against Giannis, then he'll play at the 4. But if LeBron wants to play at the 3, he'll play at the 3. So you can't really, you know what I'm saying? So it's weird with that. But then another thing, could you imagine Paul George and Cam Reddish go out there and Cam Reddish absolutely torches him? Could you imagine Dalton Knecht and LeBron James go out there and Dalton Knecht torches him? I'm not saying these things would happen, but do you understand how bad it would be for these guys and these guys' pride if that did happen? Do you know the Twitter buzz that would go around Paul George, that would go around LeBron James, that would go around any of these all-star caliber? Well, Paul George ain't nowhere near no damn all-star caliber player this year. But just these guys that are historical figures in the NBA, LeBron, Steph. Could you imagine if they went out there and they lost the 1v1 to a player that is much less talented, that is much worse than them when it comes to 5v5 or accolades or whatever it is? LeBron once said, and I believe it was LeBron, he said the 1v1's not real basketball, and this type of stuff shows that it's really just not. So I don't think that's ever going to happen, and I don't even necessarily think it should happen. So we're going to go ahead and get past that right now. I want to say it was Saturday, they were having these interviews with Funny Marco and stuff, and Funny Marco made the interviews hilarious and everything like that. In an interview, Adam Silver said with Rachel Nichols, if he were a player for a day, he would stop complaining about officiating. Adam Silver, shut the fuck up. Respectfully shut the fuck up. Because if I'm a player, I'm complaining about that stupid shit too. If I celebrate, I've seen Jason Tatum clap at himself for being frustrated and the nigga got a tech. I saw Luka Doncic pass the ball to a female ref and get a fucking tech. I have seen these guys have conversations with their fucking selves or amongst I saw Tim Duncan as a coach on the bench laughing get a fucking tech. And you want to tell me these guys should stop complaining about the officiating. Sometimes I'm with you. The flopping is too much. Sometimes players like Luka, Embiid, Shea, LeBron, sometimes these Jalen Brunson, sometimes these guys flop too much. Sometimes these guys complain to the refs too much to the point where it hurts their game. It hurts their team on defense. That stuff, I'm with you. But if you want to, and I want to say that he said this because he saw guys like Stephen Curry who were saying stuff like, oh, I want to see the refs grading system be more public, the same way our stats are. And then you had Adam Silver coming right back at him saying the officials have their own union, human resource issues. Nobody necessarily wants to have the employment record published. Fuck are you talking about? Genuinely, what the fuck are you talking about? Their job is done publicly. They are on the public stage just as much as these NBA players are when it comes to in-game. I have seen these guys make calls that have absolutely shifted the outcome of a game. Last night, I saw them make an 8-second call on Steph Curry while he was dribbling up the court with trying to hit the game-winning point, the finale point, the final point in San Francisco with the crowd cheering, and I saw a ref make a fucking 8-second call on him. And you want to tell me that these refs don't be making this shit about themselves sometimes? You want to tell me that, oh, the refs are perfect just because they have their own union? The players have their own union. The fuck is the point? They have a players association. Tell me what your point is, Adam Silver. If we can look at these guys and crucify them, I should be able to look at what their grading scale is with the refs, what they are supposed to be calling, what the NBA is telling them to call, what the NBA is not telling them to call, or what the NBA gives them a grade on after a game. Because if I see refs out here getting bad grades consistently, maybe they should be fired. Maybe their crew should have less national TV games, less playoff games, no finals games until they figure that shit out. Adam Silver, you are a commissioner that has done a lot of good things, but recently you've been pissing me off, for real. Like, genuinely. This NBA All-Star Game format was ass. We all thought it was going to be ass. We never had any hope in it. It was ass. The second April is ruining teams as we speak. It is ruining the product of the NBA as we speak, and I hate it. As, like, most fans hate it as we speak. Adam Silver, you're taking L after L right now. You allow that Luka Doncic trade to go through for what looks like an obvious move to get the Dallas Mavericks to eventually move to Las Vegas. And if that happens, Adam Silver, how you haven't been investigated, how that trade was never investigated by the league is beyond me. But we're not even about to get into that right now. So Adam Silver, shut the fuck up. Steph Curry, what you said was very valid. He didn't ask for the refs to just go out there and get shot if they make a bad call. He didn't say something unreasonable. He just said make their grading scale public. You can't be mad about that. Draymond Green, Sunday, on NBA TNT tip-off. I had to work hard to play on Sunday night of All-Star Weekend, and because the ratings are down, the game is bad, we're bringing in rising stars. That's not a fix. And then you have Oscar Robertson, an NBA Hall of Famer. Who cares what Draymond says? The game might be boring to him because if he ain't passing the ball to Steph Curry, then what is he doing? And then you have Charles Barkley saying Draymond Green's comments are not valid because his generation is the one that messed the game up. Let me tell you, I agree with both sides on this one. Hey, Oscar Robertson, I don't know what he said that made you so mad, but you cooked a little bit. If he's not passing the ball to Steph Curry, what is he doing? I get that. But at the same time, we can't sit here and act like Draymond Green was absolutely unbased with what he said. He has a very good point with what he said. Draymond Green worked hard to make the All-Star game. Whatever you want to say about what Draymond Green is now or how most of his playmaking is just him passing a step, whatever you want to say about that, he did win a Defensive Player of the Year. He would have won Finals MVP in 2016 if they won the Finals. So you got to give him his props there. Draymond Green earned his right to be an All-Star that 1 or 2 times that he was an All-Star. You can't tell me he didn't. So putting the rising stars on this court where they don't deserve to be, while that game was somehow more competitive than the game that was OGs versus the International, Draymond has a point. They didn't do a damn thing to earn it. At the same time, Charles Barkley has a point. We would have never got to that point had it not been for Draymond Green's generation of players ruining the game, ruining the All-Star game, making it unfun, making it this like there's no competition, there's none of that. Because there was moments in the game yesterday where the game for like a full 2 minutes was just turnover, missed shot, turnover, missed shot, turnover. And you could even hear the commentators that said, yeah, we're starting to get kind of sloppy now. It was bad. And there are people hating on the NBA on TNT crew, and I'm not really mad at what the NBA on TNT crew has been saying, because it's like, yes, they were complaining and bashing NBA players, but it's like, the one thing that I didn't like about it was the criticism, because when they went up there to center court and they were getting praised, all they said about these NBA players was that these guys are great players, blah, 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 we love these guys, these are greats, without them it wouldn't be what it is. But then publicly on TV, you say something different. So, like, that's a little strange to me, you know what I'm saying? But man, I can't be mad at either side here because I get both sides. I literally, genuinely do understand both sides of it. Hold on, I'm getting a phone call. Let me take this real quick. All right, where was I? I don't even know. But all I'm gonna say is that I genuinely do understand both sides of it. I'm not mad at either side. And I see that there is a level of hypocriticism, I guess. I don't really know what kind of word I'm looking for. But at a certain point, those NBA on TNT guys were being a little hypocritical with what they were saying on the court versus what they were saying when they're actually broadcasting, right? But. At the same time, the players are the reason that the All-Star game has become what it was. When you can't sit here and pretend like these guys were out here just because there were points where you got Kennedy calling guys like Kyrie, Dame, and Steph great defenders. These guys are all All-Stars because they are great defenders. And you got Chuck going, not all of them. And I'm not going to lie, in that moment, I was with Chuck. Like, not all of them. We're not finna sit here. Like, these guys aren't ass defenders. They're not like the worst defenders in the league. Trae Young was in that game, though. Trae Young's not a good defender, let alone a great one. So we're not about to sit here and pretend like all these guys are just great defenders. Basically, what I have to say is there was just so much that happened with this All-Star weekend, and so much of it was negative. You got guys saying they want to go back to an East-West format. You got Dame saying he'd be okay with the home slot at the finals being on the line. That's not going to happen. It just won't happen. What if, I mean, I guess, but like, what if one year a guy that's an all-star, whatever, they don't make, or I guess would it be the Eastern team getting the, I don't know, dude. I just don't like that idea for real. I just don't see how that would work. But then, there's one more thing that I want to see, and this is just another thing on like the Paul George thing. PG, man, you out here posting up on vacation with your girl, your baby mama. I don't know who she is, but whoever she is, you're out here posted up on vacation with her, and I have no problem with that. But when you're looking all happy and stuff on vacation and you just dropped 2 points in your last game, which is less than Kai Cenat dropped in the All-Star in the Celebrity game, which is less than Drewski dropped in the Celebrity game, it's not a great look. Especially the way that you've been complaining about being an All-Star because you don't like to be an All-Star because you'd rather you'd rather be at home chilling when getting a vacation like everyone else does. Oh, okay. I mean, it just isn't a great look, but I don't really care about all of that. There was so much negative from this All-Star game, and it just genuinely felt like a true failure from the NBA. So, yeah, I just went on a whole rant about the All-Star game and the All-Star weekend, but something has to change. Something has to be fixed. I don't know if what Giannis said about, I think it was Giannis that said, like, oh, you go to NBA, you go America versus the world, and you change the location. Like, one year you have it in Paris or London, and then one year you have it in the U.S. and everything like that. I'm not mad at that idea. I just don't think it's going to happen because the traveling aspect of it, I don't think that's going to happen unless they give these guys a longer break during All-Star. Like, unless they make the All-Star break, like, teams have games again on Wednesday, right? So unless they made it to where the All-Star break went through next Friday or maybe this Sunday that's coming up, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it would happen because the players would complain too much about it being even less of an actual vacation, even less of an actual break. And I also think that fans would complain a lot about that because some fans would be like, well, that's not really letting the real fans get in the game even more than we already, you know what I'm saying? They already say you're already pricing the real fans out, and now you make it overseas, you're pricing out even more. I could see that being something that people would say. So I really don't know if there is an easy fix, but the NBA has to do something because it's ass. It was ass this year. It's been ass for the last couple of years. We had moments, but we had more moments of bad than we had moments that were good from my memory at least. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. I did a whole lot in this video, a whole lot of cursing, a whole lot of screaming, a whole lot of yelling, but I feel like I needed to get my points across, and I feel like I did. So let me know what y'all thought about it. Let me know if y'all think I'm just absolutely hating right now for no reason, or if y'all think that, or if y'all agree with me. So yeah, I appreciate y'all. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because it helps the channel out a lot. And let me know what kind of videos y'all want to see, man. Okay? All right.